People think African history begins with slavery. That is the biggest lie ever sold. Before Europe had banks, before Columbus got lost at sea, before America even knew it existed in the world, Africa had empires so rich, so advanced that even today's economists can't finally and fully explain them. At the center of that forgotten world stood one man, Mansa Musa. But Mansa Musa did not appear from nowhere. He was born into power, the Keita Dynasty, the loyal bloodline that founded and ruled Mali Empire. The Keitas trace their origin to Sunjata Keita, the legendary founder of Mali, a man who united kingdoms through strategy, diplomacy, and military genius in the 13th century. Mansa Musa was not just a king, he was the continuation of centuries old African system of governance, law, education, and global trade. Here's the part they don't teach you. Mansa Musa became emperor in 1312 after his predecessor, Abu Bakr II, did something no European king dared to do at the time. Abu Bakr II abdicated the throne for one reason, to explore the Atlantic Ocean. Let that sink in. While Europe still feared the edge of the world, the Mali Empire was building fleets. Historical records from Arab scholars like Al-Umari state clearly that Abu Bakr II launched two massive expeditions westward. The second involved thousands of ships, men, gold, food, and supplies, and never returned. This wasn't fantasy. This was staged, state-found exploration. So where were they going? Across the Atlantic. Long before Christopher Columbus, Africa's sailors understood ocean currents. The Canary current flows directly flows from West Africa to the Americas. You don't need advanced engines. You need knowledge, courage, and preparation. Mine had all the three. There are indigenous accounts in parts of Central and South America describing dark-skinned people arriving by sea, bringing metalwork, new crops, and unfamiliar technologies. There are linguistic similarities, botanical connections like African cotton in the Americas, and early European explorers themselves reported meeting natives who spoke of African arriving long before Europeans. This history is debated, but it is not imaginary. It is simply convenient. Now back to Massimo. When he rose to power, he inherited not just an empire, but a global vision. Mali controlled major trade routes of gold, salt, copper, and knowledge. Mansa Musa made Mali the economic heartbeat of the world. In 1324, when he went on a pilgrimage to Mecca, he didn't go quietly. He traveled with 60,000 people, thousands of soldiers, scholars, and servants. So much gold that he crashed the economies of Egypt, Arabia for years. Think about it. One African king caused inflation across continents. But here's what people really don't talk about. Mansa Musa didn't just spend money. He invested in knowledge. He built universities, libraries, and mosques in Timbuktu and Gao. Timbuktu wasn't a desert town. It was a global intellectual capital, attracting scholars from North Africa, Middle East, and Europe. At a time when Europe was burning books, Timbuktu was preserving. Thousands of ancient manuscripts still exist today, covering astronomy, medicine, mathematics, law, and philosophy. Proof that Africa was not waiting to be civilized. Africa was already leading. So why don't we know this? Because history was rewritten by those who benefited from Africa being seen as empty, backward, and uncivilized. You can't justify colonization if people know the truth. Bassa Musa and the Keita Dynasty reminds us of something powerful. Africa didn't discover greatness. Africa produced it. And maybe, just maybe, Africa reached the Americas long before Europe ever claimed to discover it. History didn't forget